So this is meant to show you how to wire your buttons and your LEDs to your extension board. There's a lot of wires involved, so I want to show you on a drawing first. One thing I have found helpful is to have a little key or a legend. It's going to tell me how I'm going to connect the pins on a particular module to my extension board. So you can see I've got a key for the button module and a key for the LEDs. Let's start with the button module. If you look at the button module, it has a VCC, a ground, and then a pin for each of the keys. I've just made it easy and made each of my keys associated with a pin for the key number. So key 1 goes with pin 1, key 2 pin 2, etc. Let's go ahead and start by wiring the VCC and the ground. Now I'm going to go ahead and wire each of my keys. I'm going to try to keep things straight with color. So for the red button, I'm going to use a red wire, yellow, yellow, etc. My key 1, which is red, is going to go to pin 1. So now I have my button connected. I'm going to look at the LEDs now. Each of my LEDs has a VCC line and an in. All the VCCs are going to go to the VCC row on my extension board. I'm going to wire those in brown, and I'm going to put them in the same column that the pin is associated with. Again, I'm going to try to keep things straight with color. So hopefully you can see how each of the LEDs connect to their individual pin as well as to the VCC in that column. Now you're ready to physically wire it. Okay, so now I'm going to physically wire my button to my extension board and then wire the individual LEDs. So just a reminder, I've got my little key here that's going to help me remember what each of the pins on like my button board is going to connect to my extension board, and also for my LEDs, how they are going to connect to particular pins. So I'm going to start off with my button module. I'll start off with the VCC and the ground because those are pretty easy. VCC just goes to VCC, ground goes to ground. Okay, now I'm going to connect my individual key pins to my board. And remember, I try to make it easy, and that key 1 would connect to pin 1, key 2, pin 2, key 3, pin 3, key 4, pin 4. So I'm going to connect those now, and I'm going to try to keep things clear with color. So my red key, which is key 1, is going to have a red wire, yellow key 2, blue key 3, key 4, etc. Okay, it's starting to look a little hectic here. That's why we did it on the drawing first. But I have these two are for my ground and my voltage, and then these are for my particular key buttons. Now I need to wire my LEDs. Again, a reminder, I've got the little key here that's going to remind me how I'm going to connect my LEDs. Now each of my LEDs has a VCC and then an in button. So the VCC is all going to connect to this red row, and then the in is going to connect to a particular pin. And so I made it pretty easy. Red is 6, yellow 7, blue 8, green 9. Whew, that's a lot of wires. That's again why we did it on a drawing first. So I've got all my LEDs and they're connected to my extension board, and my keys are connected to my extension board. Remember that your VCCs, for my case, I again try to keep the colors kind of similar. So I made browns and oranges my VCCs. So I'm just double checking all those wires of VCCs are brown and orange, and then the colors are in the right spots. And so now I have already written my program, but I'm going to plug in my microbit to my extension board. because it should already have my code on it. And now I should be able to show that my code works when I, oops, it definitely knows I'm there. When I press my red button, my red light goes on, yellow, yellow, blue, blue, green, green, woohoo! I can do multiple colors, multiple buttons. So hopefully you have fun exploring this.